All right, you guys. So we got some interesting news out of China. I know it may not affect us here, but it could potentially make its way out of China with how they're looking at some of the targeting ways that they're trying to cut down on, I guess, targeting minors and stuff like that. Anyways, you guys, don't forget mash that like button. Give me a follow if you can and subscribe. So let's get into this news article. This is from PC Gamer. Shares in Chinese gaming giants tumble as the CCP imposes strict new regulations and spending limits. Sometimes I can't speak. Alongside a ban on login bonuses and luck-based draw features for minors. A report states that nearly 80 billion in market value has spilled out of two major companies alone. Bro, just when the gaming market thought it couldn't get any worse, the Chinese government goes around and does this, 2 days before Christmas. Anyways, let's get into it. Regulatories of the Chinese Communist Party have come down hard on several key pieces in the live service model, leading to spiraling shares for major players in the market as investors scramble to assess the damages. I don't think we're going to see how bad this affects them until it actually goes into effect. According to Reuters report, nearly 80 billion in market value has slaughtered off of Tencent Games, NetEase Games. Shares in Tencent Holdings, the world's biggest gaming company, tumbled as much as 16% at one point, while those of its closest rival, NetEase, plunged as much as 25% after the National Press and Publication Administration published the new draft and rules. Tencent's game is a parent company of studios such as Riot Studios, League of Legends, and Fat Shark, Warhammer 40k Dark Tides. So I want you to also think about this. Riot Studios is not just in charge of League of Legends. They're also in charge of Valorant, which is the new kid on the block when it comes to shooters, much like CS. Meanwhile, NetEase had played hand in games like Diablo Immortal and Dead by Daylight Mobile, which I didn't even know there was a Dead by Daylight Mobile. Anyways, MiHoYo, the company behind popular games like Genshin Impact and Honkai, is also based in China. Now, I think it's kind of weird how they don't mention how much this company for Genshin Impact has potentially lost, but they mention Tencent and Fat Shark right off the rip and NetEase. All right, let's go. The tech correspondence for Reuters, Josh Yee, has shared the full list of drafted rules on Twitter. These include requirements for publishers to store their servers in China. So that means no more offshore-based servers, preventing luck-based draw features offered to minors, enforcing spending limits, and stopping daily login rewards. I tell you, if they were to do this, all game services that are free to play, Destiny, you're talking Overwatch, you're talking a lot of them are going to be, they would be done if America did anything like this, or even Europe. Especially the daily login rewards. I know Fortnite right now, for example, is doing it for Christmas. Now they don't do it as a daily thing, but they have the 13 days or 12 days of Christmas, whatever it is. Luck-based draw rewards. That's why a lot of if there is loot boxes left in some of these games, that's why a lot of them actually give you a percentage chance of being able to get X tier skin. And it definitely, I think there does need to do enforce spending limits to prevent some people from spending way too much. But at the same token, I feel like you should be an adult or you should be a parent and be able to control those things as you see fit instead of a government coming in and saying that. As shared in Bloomberg's report, a senior analyst at LTD, a financial advisory company based in Hong Kong, described a dejected atmosphere. It's caught people off guard right before the holidays. It feels like disheartening as well for those happen after a year that has already been so difficult for the market, which it really has. I want you to really think about it. I think a lot of major gaming studios, period, end the story at the end of the day, have been doing a lot of layoffs. There's been a lot of go back and checking out book like their books and seeing like how much they're losing, how much they're gaining. Now, granted, a lot of these studios and a lot of these places are on like record years. They're making profit year after year, but at the same token, if they're publicly traded companies, they have to crank out X amount of dollars to be able to show, hey, look, our books, they're amazing. It's I don't think it's right, but it's business. It's one of those things. It was supposed to be this was supposed to be a quiet day before Christmas. I haven't seen moves like this and these names before. The rules which an analyst from 86 Research maintains will not likely see major changes are disastrous for the game's monetization models. Login rewards are a blow, sure, but capping spending limits could gut the entire scheme. I think it would definitely for sure and potentially end the free to play model in China. And they would probably start charging people if they cap it. Depending on how much they cap it, they're going to start capping like $20, $30 per game. Free to play games are often targeting whales, players who, with either the willingness or expendable income to drop thousands of dollars. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll drop $20 here, $30 there, but people that drop thousands upon thousands of dollars on games like this, I don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll drop, $20 a month on Fortnite. It is what it is. This isn't the industry. This isn't some industry secret. A co-founder of Hoyoverse site straight up told the press in 2020 that Genshin Impact targets otakus who are willing to pay for love, which I don't get. Otaku is a Japanese term, and it's unlikely that the Chinese Communist Party cares how much gaming companies monetize from foreign countries. Well, yeah, they don't care about anybody outside of their borders, especially considering these regulations seem more like culture browbeating than financial plays. I agree. In 2021, laws were enforced in China to prevent gamers under the age of 18 from playing games outside hours of 8 to 9 p.m. on weekdays. That to me is just mind blowing because they even use facial recognition technology to enforce said rules. There was an article I read this probably a year or so ago that they were making people use like their actual IDs to be able to go sign into computers. Like you had to snap a picture of your driver's license with your birthday on it in order to even get into some of these like gaming cafes to even play games or even snap that photo to send it in so that you can play it. Let's see. I know there's also a recent crackdown on cryptocurrency, though I imagine that it's less of a concern for gaming companies, which it is. 100% it is because don't get me wrong, there's always going to be the environment in most games where they actually use the in-game currency, but for the most part they don't care about cryptocurrency because they're taking USD, the yen, whatever it is, and then converting it into Riot points, RP, or V-Bucks, what have you. And they're not going in and using, freaking, was it Crypto Crow? They're not using Bitcoin. They're not using Ether. It's just one of those things. This is all in spite of the fact that earlier this year, a study found no evidence that China's playtime mandates reduced heavy gaming based on data provided by Unity Technologies. I wonder if it's the same Unity that we talked about months ago. Anyways, granted, the study targeted gaming in the country as a whole rather than young people specifically. Nonetheless, it found that the policies have been ineffective in its stated goal. So it really does make me wonder what is their whole goal. If they're targeting people under the age of 18, only allowing them to game from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., like, what is the end goal here? Because I guarantee you there's a lot of people that hit the age of 18 that are like, all right, and they game until they can't game anymore. So that's just an article I saw. It was kind of interesting that the Chinese government thinks that this is a good move, and how two of their biggest companies for that country have tanked $80 billion in market value just because they announced it. What's the end goal here? What is your plan? It doesn't make sense. Let me know down below. What do you think about this? This is interesting because, like, we don't have stuff like this here in America. It's always China that does some weird stuff like this. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Don't forget to mash that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.